Hooked on Needles. My name is Marisela, and I will be your host. I decided to make this podcast to try and reach out to other crafters and to join what seems like a very awesome community of people who share their interests and other interests and stuff. I am a knitter and a crocheter. I have been crocheting for about 8 years, and I have been knitting for about 2. I learned to crochet on... My mother-in-law taught me a bit, my sister taught me a bit, and YouTube taught me a lot. So, yeah, and then knitting as well. A friend of the family's showed me, but after that, like, she taught me the basic knit and purl, and then after that I went on to YouTube and, you know, learned more techniques and stuff. And so, yeah, I don't do anything too crazy with my knitting. I have been a little apprehensive about it. So that's also why I'm joining this group of people, because I feel like I may need a little encouragement from you guys, you know, to kind of just let go of my fears and try something else. I will start off with some of my crocheted items. I made this little minion bag for a little girl that we know. She loves minions, and her birthday's coming up next month, so I made her that for her birthday. And I really like to make bags. I make all different kinds of bags, and yeah, I use them, my daughter uses them, and sometimes I give them away for presents. So yeah, but this is one that I really love. It's a variegated yarn, and I used the brick stitch that Bob Wilson 123 has a tutorial on it. And so yeah, I did that, and I really like it. It's one of my favorite bags. That one doesn't have a lining on in it, so I think I should do that so I can actually use it, because I just have it there. It's so pretty and I love it, so I just look at it. And then I also made this. I haven't finished it yet, but this will eventually become this. Although I'm going to change the eyes, because those are creepy looking eyes to me, but I'm going to make this little purse to go along with this little hat for Christmas for one of our nieces. Don't know which one yet. I have 2 that I could choose from. So, yeah, but I really love the, this is a crocodile stitch, and changing colors every 2nd row, every 2 rows, I should say, every 3rd row, okay. And then this little hat, it's so adorable. Who doesn't like owls? Come on, they're everywhere nowadays. But yeah, and I originally made that for, one of my sister's friend's daughter. She really likes owls, and so she was like, hey, can you make her one? So last Christmas I made her one, and she loved it. And so then I saw that someone had made the bag with the using the crocodile stitch, and I love the changing of the colors. It's so pretty. So I was like, oh, I'll give that a go. So the girl who got a hat last year may end up getting a bag this year for Christmas. I'm not sure yet, but anywho. And then I also made this like gladiator hat. I saw the pattern for it on YouTube. I will put in whose channel, because I don't remember. I think it was Ahuyama Crochet. But yeah, I think that's where I got it. Anyways, I really like it. I made it for my son, and these little black things are supposed to go all the way down, but he was like, no, I just like it there. So he's 6, so I'm not going to argue with him. So I was like, okay. And so I left that alone. And yeah, so that's all the crocheted items I have for right now. I have other stuff around the house, but I'm not going to go looking for it. Anyways, and then knitted items. Oh, sorry, crocheted. I forgot this one. This one actually was a request. One of my sister's friends, again, sent me a picture of a poncho that she wanted for her daughter. And I actually found the tutorial for the exact ponchos she sent. But I didn't like the flower that she used. So I actually used a pattern from Bob Wilson again. Bob Wilson 123. And I like the flower that she made better, so I did that, and then after that I followed the directions for the original poncho. And yeah, this one is for a 9-year-old, I believe, and I really like it. I like the color. She wanted a bright pink, so that's what I did. And she didn't want me to use expensive yarn. So I just went to Walmart and got some Red Heart Super Saver, and all the hats and stuff are also made with Red Heart, except for this one. This one, I believe I used, I don't know, I used a baby yarn. I don't remember what it was, but I used, I did 2 threads of it. Or use 2 of them at a time, and just to make it thicker, because it was a baby weight, so it was like a lightweight yarn. But anyways, so that was crocheted, and I'm hoping to crochet a couple more bags probably. I liked crocheting hats before I started knitting, but now I'd rather knit hats. So my husband likes how the stitches come out real tight and stuff, so I like that too. So over the summer, I made hats because I have a lot of nephews, and so they all requested hats, and they don't want just one hat this year for Christmas. They want more than one, so hopefully I'll get to like 2 or 3 for each one. We'll see. But this one will probably be for my son just because it's smaller, and I really like these colors. I used loops and threads, wool-like, and I love that yarn. It is so soft and stretchy, and I have knitted with wool before, but it makes me itch. It makes my kids itch, so I don't use it very often. But I do like this one that's wool-like. And I just knitted a lot of hats, different style hats. This one was inspired by the worm hat. I actually downloaded the pattern, printed it and everything. But for some reason I can't follow directions, and I did my own thing anyways. So this one's inspired by the worm hat, but it is not the worm hat. And the worm hat you can find on Ravelry. And then this hat I made, the pattern I got from a ripoff, or you know, those ones that Michael's that they put out there so you can just rip it and take it with you. It was for a chunky hat, but I really wanted to keep using this yarn, again, loops and threads, wool-like, and so I just modified it to where I could do it with this, and I really like it. I think it's really cute. So I like the colors together, even though my daughter was like, those are a little weird, but I like them. I like the little pom-pom. I do have a pom-pom maker that I got, and I love it. So that's, and I like to leave a few of the strands kind of like uneven, because I feel like it's more handmade than just like nice and pretty and neat. Anyways, and then I got this pattern off of Ravelry as well. I will insert what pattern it is, because I don't remember at the time. But I made this one for my oldest nephew, and yeah, he loves wearing them. This one's a little bit tighter. I need to make him some slouchies because that's what he likes. And then I attempted to make a Fair Isle hat. I say I attempted, from a pattern I got from a book, and the pattern actually was for a pillow, but I really liked the pattern, so I changed it so that it would be a hat. And this is it. But because it's Fair Isle, I did my runs too tight, so it's really tight on me, and it doesn't fit my son or my daughter. And like this part is all loosey-goosey, but the hat itself is like super tight. So I'm just gonna give it to one of my friends' kids, and they will enjoy it. This is their Christmas gift. And then I made a couple hats. I'm trying to find the other one. I made a couple hats just doing my own thing. I did a 1x1 rib at the bottom for about 1 inch, and then I did knit 3, purl 1, and I really like the way this pattern looks. I like the little like lines right there with the purling. I love it. It's one of my favorites that I have done, and like I said, I just made that one up. And so I did this one. I used I love this yarn scraps from last year. Last year I made my nephew's blankets, and so I just used up the scraps from that one. And this one I used Vanna's Choice, and this one again is just 1x1 and then knit 3, purl 1. And I really like the way the texture it gives. It's really nice. And my husband likes it too. And then this is another one, the same thing. But this one, all of it is knit 3, purl 1. So it's a little bit, and this one's for my son's hat. I don't know if it's going to fit him still. But anyways, and then I wanted to be brave during the summer and try something new. Up until now, hats are pretty much all I have made. I have knitted, I should say. I have knit a purse before, like just a regular bag where you knit the bottom straight and then pick up stitches and then go up. I've done that, and then I've also started with where you start with four stitches or 8 stitches on the double needles, and then you add and grows, and then you just keep going. And so I've made those kinds of bags too. I've knit those, and I like them. I don't have any here with me, but my daughter really liked them, and then one of her friends saw it, so she asked me for one. I made her one for her birthday, and yeah, I really like them because they're really spacious, and you can fit quite a bit in there. But anyways, I was saying that I was brave over the summer because I ended up making a little sweater vest for my son, and I really like how it came out, except for the neck. I did a 1x1 here, and for some reason I did a 2x2 here, which I don't know what I was thinking, but that's what I did. I do like how it came out, and then here I just added a little, I think it was an eyelet or something, and I just wanted something different in there, so that's why I did it. I haven't been brave enough to start doing cables, so I did this, which were yarn overs and knit togethers and stuff, which seems a lot easier to me. So I did this, but being brave is another reason why I wanted to start this podcast, because like I said, I really would like to start making more wearable things with the knitting, and so I feel like being able to ask you guys, you know, for your input, or if you have any tips, would be a lot easier than if I just tried to do it on my own. Like I said, YouTube has taught me a lot, and sometimes you can find the answers out there on YouTube, but there are things that you do need somebody to help you and talk you through it or walk you through the steps. And so yeah, so I hope, you know, to be able to get help by some of you out there whenever I do need it. And yeah, so those are all my stuff I made. Those are all the things I have made. And I do have a couple of things on the needles. I don't have anything on a hook, just needles. I'm using sock yarn. I'm using this Pinfeathers Purls sock yarn. I bought that yarn because I was going to try to make some socks for my daughter, I think last year. But I was going to crochet them. And then I did make one. I think I did everything but the heel in the crocheted sock. And I didn't like it. I didn't like how it came out. And so I had bought 2 skeins because I was thinking I was going to use 1 skein per sock. And so I was doing that. But then I didn't like it, like I said. So then I had that one left over, and then I didn't want to frog the other one because, I don't know, I just didn't want to take it apart. So then I was like, well, what can I do with this skein of yarn that I have? I decided to make a sock yarn hat. I have seen a couple of podcasts out there that have made them. And I didn't follow a pattern. I just kind of made my own as I go. And it's nothing complicated. It's just a 1x1 rib and then stockinette. And I like doing nothing too complicated when it's variegated yarn or self-changing yarn, just because I feel like sometimes it takes away. But then again, I haven't had a lot of experience with different textures in knitting or anything, which is why I wanted to do this, and maybe I'll participate in a couple of cows. But that's something I have, that's something I have in progress right now. I'll probably finish it tonight or something. And then something else that I wanted to try, I've been wanting to try, but haven't really had the guts to do it. Is I started making socks. I did Judy's Magic Cast On, and that was quite interesting. I really like how it doesn't leave a seam or anything. Like, that's amazing. I love it. Like, I've never made socks before. So far, I think I started this 2 weeks ago. I don't know if I like doing it with the long needles. I ended up ordering some 9-inch circulars, and as of right now, I use the cheap knitting needles with the really stiff cables that you can get at Walmart, like, or Michael's or something, like the cheap ones, just because, when I started knitting, I wasn't sure I was going to like it. So I just bought the cheap stuff, but now seeing all the podcasters out there with their beautiful sets of like Knitter's Pride or Ahuyama Sharps or Addie Clicks, like all that stuff, I'm like, I feel like I'm missing out. So hopefully not in the too distant future, I will be able to get a set of my own. I'm not sure which ones to get. I'm a little apprehensive about the Addie Clicks, just because some of you guys out there have had trouble, and then I know that Ahuyama Sharps are not for everybody, because not everybody likes the like sleek stuff. I have never touched any of these needles or anything. So I was actually thinking about going to my local yarn shop to see if they would let me see some of their needles, just to see if I would rather have those or maybe some bamboo interchangeables. I'm not sure. I do have an interchangeable set, but like I said, it's the cheap one. And I just got it, like I said, because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. But my husband was like, well, and just thought it would be a little bit better than just buying one set of each and spending, you know, you end up saving when you get the interchangeable. So I do have one of those, but I don't really like it because of the cables. The cables are really stiff, and then you get like the cable ends up bending right at the tip sometimes, because like when you gotta pull it. So I don't really like them, so that's why I want to get a nicer set of interchangeables. But yeah, if you guys have any thoughts on which ones might be better for me to try, please let me know and I will consider it. And so yeah, so I am thinking about starting a bag, like crocheting a bag, just because I've been knitting a lot lately. Just I knit at carpool and so I need a little break from knitting. I want to start making a crocheted bag, like I said. Don't know what for, just to try something new. There are a couple stitches that I want to try. I think I'm gonna go with the Catherine wheel, I believe it's called. I got a book that I think that's the pattern that it calls for, and so they show a bag crocheted with that stitch, and I think it looks so pretty. So I think I may just give that a go, just to take a little break from knitting, like I said. And yeah, I'm hoping that this podcast will be a bi-weekly podcast, so maybe we will see each other twice a month. And just because I also don't think I knit or crochet, well, I crochet quite fast, but knitting still takes me quite a bit, and I don't think I would be able to finish a project any sooner than like 2 weeks. I've been knitting these for 2 weeks, and this is how far I've gotten. And so I think I said that I ended up ordering some 9-inch circulars just to give that a go, because I do, like, even with hats, I like using the smaller ones, the smallest circulars that I can, just because I feel like it's a lot easier. Like, I don't mind having extra stitches and them being all crowded. I'm pretty good at keeping them on the needles. And so yeah, I don't really like using magic loop, I think it's what it's called, when you do this and you have them, like I have half stitches, the front and the back, half on each side of the cable. Yeah, I don't like it. I can do it, but it just gets tiring, like switching it all the time. Like I just rather not. So yeah, so that's what's gonna happen. And also I wanted to let you guys know, if you haven't heard of these people, Candace from Pinfeathers Purls, she was my first podcast I ever watched, and I love her. Like, she is awesome. I like that she embraces her nerdy, geeky side, as she calls it. I think it's amazing, and Avatar is pretty awesome. Just so you guys know, if you haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, the show, not the movie, you should totally give that a go. My favorite character is Uncle Iroh, of course. But yeah, anyways, and then also Adrian from ALTERKNIT. He is so, like, I don't even know what to say. He's just so better. Like, he just makes me so happy, and his reaction to some stuff is like hilarious in a good way. And yeah, I just those are two of my favorite podcasts that I like to watch. And I believe Candace started at the beginning of this year, 2016, and Adrian started not too long ago. Maybe a couple months ago he started his. But both of those are two that I just really enjoy watching. Very different perspectives that they have, and I love them. I think they are both wonderful, wonderful podcasts. So if you are looking for something new and you haven't seen them, I think you should give them a go. And yeah, so thanks so much for those of you who have stuck through the first podcast of mine. Like I said, I really think I can make this a bi-weekly podcast. And so I will see you guys next time. Hasta la próxima. You guys take care.